The main thing I've learned about the machine is it wants to work. My name is Clay Bartolone with Bartolone Welding Services down here in Naples, Florida. We specialize in heavy equipment repairs, line boring, and anything big. I saw that there was a huge need for welders down here. There was nobody to really, I guess, do it. And the company I was with didn't want to keep me. I was going to go work for somebody else. I went and talked to 4 or 5 different companies, and nobody could give me what I wanted, I guess, or what I thought I was worth. So I figured I'd try it myself.
How's that working out for you?
It's been great so far. I worked for a heavy civil construction company that did all of their own in-house welding and fabrication. They bought a line bore machine and kind of threw me into it, and it took me about 2 years to figure out, with absolutely no help from anybody. At that time, there was very, very little information online about it, and I had reached out to some guys that in the area that do it, and they wanted nothing to do with helping anybody, so I just set it up and did it wrong until I figured out the right way. It was more frustrating than fulfilling at first because I had no idea what I was doing, absolutely no clue. So I'd line bore it, looked great, and I'd go to try to put my bushing in, and it wouldn't go. And then after about the 20th time of doing that, you figure out what you're doing wrong. I'm kind of ashamed to say it, but before I would do a job would take me about 3 weeks. So now we're down to one or 2 days. So we're doing a lot better. I don't even know where to get started. I bought this machine kind of on not on accident, but I had 4 machines at my shop that needed to be done over a weekend. And I set my machine up, the one previous to this, and it didn't want to work. So I had to call another contractor to come in and do the jobs in my shop, which obviously that's no good. So I had him do 2, and then that same night I bought this, and it was delivered the next day. I thought I'd get 3 or 4 jobs out of it, and I'd be happy, everybody'd be happy, kind of a throwaway machine, but that is not the case whatsoever. Every time I set it up, I'm surprised. Every single time I use it, I can't believe that it works this good. The main thing I've learned about the machine is it wants to work. It wants a big feed, and it wants a big cut. If your bearings can take it, it wants it. Definitely the best you could buy for the money, 100%. And in my opinion, probably the best machine all around for reliability and capability. Every time I plug it in, it works. Unlike my last 2 that I've owned. This is now the only machine that I'll ever set up. I have worked with Climax, was the first one I started with, and I've also worked with bore repair. The first one is the gearbox just won't stay together. The gearbox will not. And the beauty about this is it's all servo. There's no gearbox. There's nothing to go wrong on this. Super simple. I got a nice crate out of another line boring system I bought, and it happens to be a piece of junk. And it's even more frustrating whenever you call them to try to get parts and they don't care. Or you call the manufacturer and they just don't answer, which that's awesome. Or they just won't call you back. So I put all my good stuff in their crate. You're not going to find this machine with its capabilities for the same price point anywhere. Especially the sector weld. That's I mean, that's a $10,000 option that other companies provide. You know, this, you buy one and it has it on already. You don't have to add it. You don't have to buy a different module. It's all in one. Initial investment gets you covered pretty much with all you'll ever need. You might need a longer bar at some point, but initial investment, it covers everything. Customer service is probably the best by far. If you need something, they're not afraid to reach out. I've actually had a couple questions for Reason a few times. Just actually had a question about this job, about how he would go about setting up on it, and he called me within 10 minutes and told me, this is what I would do. You don't have to do it that way, but that's the way I've done it in the past. And
how'd that advice work out for you?
Yep, worked out real good. They have everything in stock, and they're willing to take, I don't know how to say that. They're willing to make it right on their end to make everybody happy. If there's ever any questions or anything, they are always willing to help. Shows that they care.